You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
Together we are Raw Break. Family, how's every single one of you? Hey, we have double feature today because a few minutes ago we just did a video for WWE Crown Jewel 2021, so please watch it. We're right there. Just
acknowledge us, family. Acknowledge us.
Watch acknowledge us, exactly. Yes. What Roman Reigns will say, he retained the championship with Brock Lesnar, so please check that video out. You know, Paul, you enjoyed it for the most part. There was also stupid matches like every other WWE show, but very quick, tell me what do you think about it.
I mean, overall, all the matches of great importance, so pretty much all the title matches I thought were good. You know, even though, like you said, Big E and Drew, two baby faces, I thought for what it was, still a very good match. The main event was great. The women's triple threat was great. King of the Ring, Queen's Crown matches, you know, not good. The whole tournaments were bad. But overall, I would say, you know, maybe not to get into the political aspect, but overall, I thought this was a thumbs up of a pay-per-view event. I thought, you know, the matches were real good.
Exactly. So, you know, be with us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also give the video a like so more and more people are exposed to the original Raw Break, the best podcast, you know, when it comes to soccer, professional wrestling right here, NXT UK. So let's talk about this show, Paul, because it started with Aliyah James and Xia Brookside, a match that was scheduled last week because Nina Samuels has her show, kind of like more like what it is, like gossip and all of that, you know, like the celebrity stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, we get to see this match, and in this actually particularly, match quality, I think it was great. It's just, you know, women's match, and I'm not saying that to diminish anything, but I'm just saying this is what sets up for what's coming next for Xia Brookside, because Aliyah James in the end, you know, after like I said 8 minutes or something, like Xia Brookside, she took it lightly, meaning like she was gonna win. She thought she was gonna win easily, but in the end, she like Aliyah James pulls out like the surprise here, because like she rolls her up 1, 2, 3, and then she wins the match. But then you see Xia Brookside completely like losing it. You see that like she's frustrated, she doesn't know what's going on, she doesn't understand why she cannot win, and then of course Aliyah James like offers like sportsmanship, hit the hand, and then she like get the hell out of here. So what's gonna happen with Xia Brookside? I see the heel turn finally coming to fruition little by little.
Yeah, and you know, you got to take credit. You predicted this. You're like, oh, I could see her losing this match, turning heel, and that's really what I think they did here too. As I was watching this whole ending unfold, it was like, you know, when your little cousin is like, hey, can I play you in Mortal Kombat? And you're like, oh, I'll kick his ass. Yeah, sure. Let's fight.
Exactly.
And he beats you, and you get so pissed off. Like you said, she took it lightly. She thought, yeah, I'll go against Aliyah James. I'll just beat her, no problem. She lost. She got pissed, and you know what? You weren't doing anything with her as a baby face, because, you know, you just had more credible people. You had people that were more over, more believable. She was that underdog baby face. You didn't do anything with it. Turn her heel. I think this is a good move. So
it will be. You need a and then finally she could even challenge Meiko Satomura for this.
I was just gonna say, who's right above me? Meiko Satomura. It's like, you know,
exactly.
A baby face
so we
champion.
Want to talk about her, Paul?
Yeah.
You know, like they wanted to hear her thoughts about the match that she's gonna get with Jeannie for the NXT UK Women's Championship. She said, hey, she's legit, she's good, but she is no final boss. So you see that, like, you know, Meiko Satomura is ready for that match. Before, I think she's retained again. The ones that like really put some kind of like, you know, fear or danger in that championship reign, maybe it could be Eva Valkyrie when she comes back, or also Blair Davenport, Bea Priestley, just because those two could be potentially the ones that take the title away from Meiko. But outside of that, they don't do some shows. They try to give like the women more chances, but in some others, like this one, they focus on somebody else's heel turn. So that's fine, and I like this.
Yeah, you know, this was fine. The champion addressing her challenger. Again, I think, you know, they go, okay, Ginny's a good wrestler. She's put on a lot of good matches. Maybe Eva Valkyrie getting hurt kind of messed up plans, and they're like, what do we do? You know, let's go back to another match with Ginny. It'll be good. And, you know, it's just like you said, to build people up. To me, the real credible threat, unless they're returning Eva Valkyrie as a heel, to me, the only threat is Blair Davenport, and I think she's going to be the one to win it. you know, from whenever she gets that opportunity, because it seems like she's been reinstated now and she's just running through every baby face. Mako's going to run through every heel until eventually, you know, they collide.
They have to collide. You know, they have to meet at some point. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you. Very right. And then we get to see from, like, you know, Kenny Williams. Of course, I got to get the picture where he's playing soccer. And then he got a promo just... You know, we gotta like also plot the soccer. Like I think most likely there will be a video on soccer on Sunday evening. So you know, don't forget about that. Also, let me plug it in right there. And you know, pretty much he says that like he didn't say that he wasn't gonna lose ever. He says that he's the scum of the air, but he says, hey, every now and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
lose. So,
What was the line was something like, I never said I was unbeatable, but
yes,
but I'm like unkillable or indestructible.
yes,
Pretty much
exactly.
saying like yeah, you know, if you thought I was evil, you thought, he's like, everybody can lose. But what makes, you know, me different is because, you know, the whole thing, I'm the scum of the earth. And he's like, if you thought I was bad before, wait till you see me now. So I like this because you and I were high on Kenny Williams. We thought, okay, you know, the heel turn, it was great because he was really into it. He, you know, he really sold you on it that, yeah, this guy is a piece of shit. He is an evil human being. You believed it. You weren't like, oh, he's just a gimmick. You know,
Oh yeah,
at
no,
least for me, I mean, he sold it legit. You know, you would almost think that that's how he really was. And he lost in the Heritage Cup tournament, and we kind of expected it. But it's like, you know, what are you going to do with him now? Now we see this. Okay, you know, this is good. You know,
exactly.
eventually I'd like to see him maybe against Dragunov. I mean, I think he's a smaller guy. It'll actually make Dragunov look big, but, you know, I think it'll still be a
It will be
interesting
at least
match.
an opportunity, and that is something that you could do. Because I remember back in the Attitude Era, and any time in wrestling, like sometimes you give these opportunities just to get the guy like over, like kind of like give him like a main event match that
Like
he
Undertaker,
deserves.
Jeff Hardy. Like,
Yeah,
you get the guy over, but
things
like, you
things
don't
like
win
that.
it.
It's just
Yeah.
to get over. Hey, try your luck. Hey, you couldn't do it. Hey, we knew that you possibly couldn't, but at least you try. So
Yeah.
you know, good stuff on Kenny Williams. We get to see the tag team champions, Pretty Deadly, Sam Stalker and Lewis Howley. And you know, we're actually just a guest or like just on commentary because we're gonna have a match in Symbiosis against Jack Stars and also Dave Mastiffs. And this match was decent, you know, tag team match. I mean, I like the suplex that like you know the guy from Symbiosis did, but other than that, I mean, this match was supposed to end in a no contest just because you see that like all these teams that they're gonna do like number one contender one more time, and then from there we'll see the next opponent for Pretty Deadly. I
That's a
feel.
that's a common trend I'm seeing here with NXT UK to determine the number one contenders. It's usually like a triple threat. You know, we see that a lot. I think that's how actually Pretty Deadly won in a triple threat or
Yes,
something. So, you know, I mean, this was fine because Symbiosis, you know, they don't lose. So they're, because like we said, oh man, we really don't want to see them lose here, but we think they, at least I thought they were going to lose here because I really feel like that this is the team Jack Stars and Dave Mastiff are going to be the ones to defeat Pretty Deadly. I think they're going to tell that underdog babyface story. And like I said, Mastiff, he deserves gold. He's one of the guys who's been here since the beginning. So I'm fine with the DQ ending. Then we saw Ashton Smith, Oliver Carter. They made the save. Like you said, they're going to be the third team thrown into this mix.
see right there, all those three
And
teams.
they deserve to be number one contenders too. Because like I said, every time I see those two guys wrestle, whether it's singles or tag, I like them more. So to me, you know, I wouldn't even be upset if, you know, they're the ones who win it. But I don't think it's going to be them. I think it's going to be the underdog babyface team, and we're going to see where they go from there.
Exactly. No, and you know they do this to stretch it, at least to give importance, to make it okay. We do care about this. That this can be a main event maybe in 2 weeks. So it's like, okay, everybody gather around, see what we're putting on as the main event. They all
Yeah.
deserve a chance, so that's why they do it. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. So now let's talk about the French Copa Mel. She got a promo. Also, she said that the loss with Amelia McKenzie was just a fluke. It will not happen again because she wants to represent France. She wants to be, you know, the leading woman on NXT UK in the women's division, and she just promises more wins and no more losses. So, well, good for Mel. I mean, she's getting better, so I feel that maybe in like a year, then she will be like a potential main event star in that division. We'll see what happens, Paul. So, tell me, like, you know, we get to see Charlie Dempsey. This guy again, William Regal's kid. They ask him how was the match like in his debut. He says, hey, he felt good, and he promises that he's gonna leave a legacy here in the NXT UK brand. And we get to see the boys from Gales, Woolgan, and also Coffey. And they said, well, it's cool that you got to do that. So hey, well, we're gonna see what happens, where you go from there. So you see maybe a potential feud later on. Because I thought it was going to be right away, but then you see that like the Gales boys goes against Raja and also like Tioman. So this is going to be, you know, like I think the next feud for them. But I don't know. I mean, it's good that like they use Tioman and Vulcan, that story that started the Heritage Cup. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said here. And, you know, let's kind of put all the pieces together the past couple weeks. You know, you said the feud continuing from the Heritage Cup. You had Rohan, he said to Tio Man, he's like, hey, you know, we were outnumbered in the tournament. It was 3 against 2. You know, maybe if we had one more member, and then Tio Man's like, I'll be the one to worry about that. And you see this picture here. You know, you see Dempsey in the background there. You know, maybe he's going to be the person to join this family. That would be cool. You know, because then you have a group to feud with Gallus. And I mean, all legit guys. And I mean, it sucks for Gallus because it seems like lately they've been putting people over. But I mean, hey, they had their time and to shine.
They kind of really don't realize that.
Maybe not Coffey. Maybe Joe Coffey. He wasn't champion or anything. But I really think this is a good move for all these guys. So
it will be good. They need to give us more, fresher stories, so that's fine. And I think Gallus is the perfect tag team to do so. So it's fine that they did that. So now let's talk about the Supernova Sessions, because next week we're going to have this match. So let's put the match, and then we will go to talk about Supernova Sessions. Tyler Bate against Noam Dar for the Heritage Cup. Remember that he's the number 1 contender. He won that tournament for to be in this match to challenge Tyler Bate. So we go to Supernova Sessions. They have the guests is Shaw Samuels, this is Noam Dar, and they get to see the Mustache Mountain members Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. This was good, and the first line that I like is like, hey, all the time, that's what you do. You just write his cocktails. You got to be the second one all the time. So Trent Seven is already pissed off. So I feel, Paul, the next week we might see a brand new Heritage Cup champion, and Trent Seven might be the reason why. Something will happen, and that will trigger the whole feud. So we're about to see something really great in the works.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like you said, as soon as they were sitting there, and as soon as the both of Mustache Mountain came out, they're like, "What the hell is this asshole coming out for?" Like, they were pissed to see Trent Seven, and like you said, the first thing that comes out of their mouth, they're just insulting him. This was good, and Trent even said, because they made some comment like, "Yeah, you guys lost to Pretty Deadly." He's like, "Well, we're gonna go after the tag titles, and we're gonna win them." And then Tyler Bate was like, "Listen," he's like, he's like, "I gotta defend my Heritage Cup first, then we'll worry about those tag titles later." And then Trent's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right." So you see it's like the conflict of interest here in this little group, and like you said, the tensions were high here. I mean, obviously, there didn't seem that there was any conflict with Mustache Mountain in this segment, but like you said, I feel like it's all going to come to head in this match. I agree. I think Noam Dar, he's going to win the Heritage Cup. He has to. He's one of those guys where it's like, okay, you teased it enough.
You need to pull the trigger now.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
And remember how Trent Seven was trying to make it all about the tag titles, and Tyler Bate's like, "Whoa, hold on."
Yeah.
For now, now it's not about that. It's about the Heritage Cup. So I think those little differences might be the main factor that turns out to the rivalry, and then we will see the best friends going at it. That would be amazing. So like I said, we're going to see that next week. That's going to be the main event that closes the show, but also we're going to see, like you said, Rojan Raja going against Mark Coffey. So this is going to be just the match that opens the show. This is, again, like you said, family against Gallus is interesting.
Yeah, and I really think if I'm going to make a prediction here, I think it's going to be a good match. I think Coffey is going to be about ready to hit whatever his finisher is going to be. You're going to see Tio Man get involved, then you're going to see the other 2 members of Gallus, and then it's going to be either Gallus is going to win this little altercation, or that's when Dempsey's going to come out, and then then Rohan's going to get the win here, and then that kind of signifies that he joins the group. That's the kind of way I see this going, because I don't see this match being clean. I see it being a cluster.
No, yeah, it will, like you said, there's going to be a big feud here. They're going to be colliding, and then, for example, next week we could see again Tio Man against Volkan one more time, just because the feud keeps going, and then we'll see what turns out to be happening. But it's interesting also to see. So let's go to the main event, and this was started out just a little bit funny, or like I said, they try to joke around the Gallus boys, or they present him not too serious, just because they stole Jordan Devlin's jacket right there. You see Joe Coffey coming out with it, he was actually exercising, preparing before the match. They stole it, and then Joe Coffey comes out with it, and I like that Jordan Devlin, not even his music hit, he just comes out and starts beating the crap out of Coffey. Really great match, intensity, roughness. We had to see two guys just they were able to mix professional wrestling and just stiff shots. I like that, so it was good. And you got to see, go ahead, Paul.
No, I mean, you can continue. I was just going to agree with you that, this match, I thought it was great. I like, the attitude from Devlin, and then I just want to comment on that part, and then I'll let you continue. It's just, they mess with this guy and they act childish. To me, that's why I don't mind Gallus losing all the time, because they're presented like childish, idiots, and I think it's be serious, and then I'd want to see you win. So I like that Devlin jumped him, and he showed that intensity instead of just being instead of
exactly.
So I like that.
Exactly. Well, the main problem, like you say, is that you start like that. At least I like Jordan Devlin the counter attack. Why? Because he was just like, okay, I'm not gonna put up with this shit. Okay, you're trying to get my jacket, comes out, he's like starts beating the crap out of it. But then you get to see the mix, professional wrestling and the stiff shots, intensity, violence. It was good. Like you can see the Glasgow send off right there. Joe Coffey. At some point, I was thinking he might win it, but that would be really putting like Jordan Devlin's character low in the car, and I don't think they wanted to do that because he's the ace. He still rides with that, all the things that he did as cruiserweight champion. So a really intense match, like you said, like I'm telling you, and also right here you get to see a big comeback from Jordan Devlin, the headbutt, and then the devil inside, and 1, 2, 3, Jordan Devlin bits the Iron King, and it was good. Any part that you like from the match, tell me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're happy about the outcome, though.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I like the winner. Big suplex or superplex, and like you said, there's some moments at the end you thought Coffey was gonna win, but he never really hit all his boom boom boom. His big like signature finisher. Set him up like that. No, but I like how he hit the headbutt, he hit the 450 splash, and Coffey kicked out the crowd. Well, the crowd was still dead. The crowd isn't as lively as I like, but they need more people. They really don't have that many people. There might be 50 to 75 people in there.
Yeah,
and I doubt it's even that much.
And like you said, it's not even on the road. They're not going to cities in the UK. It's just on the BT Sports studio.
Yeah, so I wish there was more excitement, but when Coffey kicked out of the 450, the crowd, that was a part. They came alive. They were chanting for Joe Coffey, but Devlin was like, no way. Devlin side 1, 2, 3, right winner, good match. Like he says, an ace beats a king every time. So this was good, and I want to see what they do with him again. Dragunov, you have something.
That's next.
I would say that's probably the next feud, and I wouldn't even mind if they do, how did Dragunov get his title shot against Walter? You did a like a battle royal. Do another battle royal. That might be interesting. And also battle royals are good because you can kind of tell feuds and stories and set up new angles and everything in a battle royal. So
and also you could have like a stare down between Coffey and Devlin. And Devlin could be the one eliminating Coffey. It's like, okay, hey, the feud keeps going on here. I see you, I got you. But then you make him like the number one contender because, like you said, that will be the first main and interesting feud between Dragunov and Devlin. Clear cut babyface, clear cut heel.
Yeah, I would say that would be the first like credible where you go, okay, like maybe this is a guy who he would drop it to,
Exactly. That would be something. Exactly. At least we'll get that down. But that's what we have for NXT UK. Hey, we get double feature. So thank you so very much. Don't forget, like the video from Crown Jewel. We have to plug it in one more time. Right there, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar Universal Championship. And don't forget also to get this video. And tomorrow we'll have SmackDown. Hopefully the superstars are not being held hostage in Saudi Arabia, so everybody makes it on time, so we don't get NXT one more time and no more Adam Cole.
Hey, remember though. That led to the legit Survivor Series.
Yeah, but no more Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan, so it's going to be Braun Breaker against Roman Reigns. So, you know what I mean? Times have changed. We got to adapt. That's the only way to survive. So, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also, one more time, the like so more people can be exposed to us. Where else, Paul?
I think make sure you follow us all of our social media. Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...